Hey guys, welcome to phase one. This is called market direction. Okay, I want to try to explain everything as clearly as possible that I can. So please try to take notes as you go along of some of the highlighted stuff that I talk about. I'm going to emphasize it a little bit more, and I really have to emphasize this one. Okay, we need to, in our head, at least come up with a market directional bias for the day. Or it could be for your trading session or for the time that you are on the charts. One of the good things about the strategy is that it allows you to not really always have to be on the charts. You can have your four pairs open, and you can put your alerts on and you can go about your day. Okay, and when one of those alerts go off, I know it's very hard, it's really bad for me because sometimes I'm driving or I'm out, but I'm still able to enter those trades sometimes even from my phone. I suggest you do not do that in the start, but it's best to not be looking at the charts all the time. We want to find the directional bias for the short term, for the next leg is what we're looking for, because this strategy is really working off supply and demand zones, and we wanna really take advantage when we find a supply or demand zone. Now, supply and demand is different from support and resistance, and I'll go more into that later. Once we can find a direction of the market for the short term and we can find a supply and demand zone, this strategy becomes very easy to take advantage of. And it can be in and out very quick. I'm in and out of trades typically between 15 minutes to 4 to 5 hours. The most I've had in the last few weeks, I've had to held one trade overnight, and that was it. And typically, if the trade doesn't go into our direction fairly fast within 8 to 12 hours, the trade is probably not going to work out and we should cut it short. Okay, mostly these trades move very fast once we get the confirmation of price action that we should enter. Now, I'm assuming most of the people that have bought this course already have a understanding of how the Forex markets move, and I really hope you do, because that's very important. Okay, the markets move in waves. Okay, they move in waves. We get a high, we get a pull in an uptrend. If we are in an uptrend, this is what your uptrend would look like. Okay, we have a high, and then we pull back, and we never break the previous low, and we break structure. Okay, and I'm going to go into a little bit of structure in this video as well, so you guys can kind of understand structure a little bit, because that's very, very key. Okay, I'm going to go into structure a little bit in this video as I show you the direction, and then the video after this is going to be all about market structure, because we need to understand market structure on every time frame. The daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 15 minute, even the 5 minute. I go as low as the 1 minute. It is very important to understand that, because part of this strategy also requires you to manage a trade once you are in profit. Okay, I will also teach this later on, where I teach you how to scale in. You will only be able to scale in if you learn market structure, and to make huge percentages a month and be very profitable, you need to find, when you see the trade that's winning and you did a good job of checking everything off the list and you entered the correct trade, it is time to take advantage of that trade and scale in every opportunity that is given to you. So where you were going to make 3%, you now made 7%, 8%, 6%. Anything extra is always a bonus for us, so we can go. And if we have to lose the next trade, it's okay. It's much easier on your psychology when you come out with a lot more money than you thought. Okay, it's much more easier to take those next few losses. All right, this is how the market typically moves in an uptrend, and it's not specific to this, but this is just examples. Okay, an uptrend will be a market structure break. So structure would be, this is a high right here, Breaking this high is considered a market structure break. It is considered a market structure break. This is called creating a low, coming back and testing the low, and then both of these tops here are market structure. When this flies through it, we just broke this market structure. Okay, same thing goes for a downtrend. We make a low, we make a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, which is breaking this market structure here, really important. And then we make a comeback all the way back to this original lower high that we had created. Very important, okay? Because if for whatever reason you saw something like this and we didn't break this market structure, then it would be a completely different story of if we're going to be getting into that trade or not. Okay, so very important to understand market structure. We're going to come into that. We need to, when we come to the chart on Monday morning, we need to open up our pairs and understand the chart that I'm looking at in a 4-hour time frame. Where is it going? Is it looking like it's going to be in a downtrend, uptrend, or is it looking like it's going to be sideways and trading a range? Okay, the best way to trade this strategy is if you can find at least one market structure break and at least some kind of a trend. Okay, some kind of a trend, because it will work great. The way that I have perfected the strategy, I can even trade ranges, I can trade consolidations, and you guys will get to that level once you take this journey and you test it out, and you've been in the markets for a couple of months with the same strategy. You'll get to that stage. Okay, so let's just jump over onto the chart here. Okay, and the highest time frame that I want you guys to ever look at, there's only one condition that I'm ever going to want you guys to look at, which is the weekly, and it's going to be in the extra confluences area, and I'll tell you why in that phase. But the highest that you need to really pay attention to is the daily. Okay, and even on the daily, you really just need to come to it for a short, maybe spend a minute on the daily chart at the maximum, and just look at what's kind of going on. Is there any market structure breaking on the daily, and just to see kind of what is going on. Like, what are we, as you can kind of see right here, we're just pushing up, and within this big push up we can find our trades. So we don't really need to think too much about the daily time frame, because we're already going to be in these areas, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, all through this whole area. Okay, so with that being said, daily is not too important, but it is something that you want to quickly just look at. Okay, the main time frame that I want you to use to find your directional bias is the 4-hour time frame. This is the perfect time frame to find the direction of the market. Okay, when we have something like this, okay, let's say this hasn't happened yet, and you come to the chart and this is like all you really see. Okay, there's not really much going on here, and in the start I would prefer if you could just stay out of this market. Okay, let's just try to stay out of this market for the start because there's nothing really going on. Okay, when stuff like this starts to happen, we can take advantage of this. Okay, we can trade this. When stuff like this happens, we can make a lot of money. Okay, this strategy works really well with selling. I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm just much better at selling, just because how this strategy visually sets up in my eyes. It just works really well with sell. So when I see something like this, okay, where we see, market structure being broken, pull back down, pull back and down, this is stepping down, and, we're starting to look like this. Okay, we're making the ladder and move down. this is where we can utilize our strategy very well. This is where we can take advantage of our strategy very well. So try your best to come to the 4 hour and get a visual look and see if you can identify a clear trend. Okay. If you can identify a clear trend, just keep going with the trend until you lose a trade and you see, and when you lose that trade and you feel like the market is pushing the other way, let the market reverse on its own and create a new trend. But until the first trend is fully over, you just keep taking the trades, because we never want to be starting to call tops and bottoms. There's only one condition where I am going to put in the extra confluences area, where sometimes I will call a top, and I'll give you guys the reason why I call that. But majority of the time, just don't even think about it. Just if it's going, let it go. If it's going long, if it's going short, let it go. We don't know how much the banks are gonna keep pushing this thing down. We don't know. Okay, I've lost so much money trying to call tops and bottoms. Okay, now it's done. Now I'm gonna reverse. Now I'm gonna make it. It's a waste of time, energy, and money. Stop trying to do it. Okay. So, notes to take: come to your charts Monday morning or on your session day. Come to the daily. Quickly look at it, go to your 4 hour and identify a pair that is trending, possibly trending on the 4 hour, okay? And the next step we're gonna do is we're gonna come down to the 1 hour, okay? On the 1 hour, we're gonna just confirm a few things. We're gonna confirm that our trend is still intact, okay? This push up has already happened. This was a very strong push. Once we go into the supply and demand part of the video, I will show you how to take advantage of this. But let's say, we are over here at the moment right now. Okay, we come to the hourly, because the hourly is where we draw our supply and demand zones, and it's also where we start preparing to take entries off the 15-minute. The 1 hour chart is our best friend. That's what I live on, okay? I just want to come down and make sure that this trend is still intact, okay? It's still intact. One of the easy ways to really get a better look at the directional bias of the trend is to switch from the candlestick pattern chart to the line chart. Okay, the line chart, and I'll take off this EMA. On the line chart, it becomes a little bit more clearer. Okay, it becomes a little bit more clearer that we had this push. We kind of struggled. Okay, we broke this market structure, but we still made a higher low. Okay, and this is where you guys can start taking notes. Come to the chart and be like, okay, this is what the line chart is doing, and it'll become very clear to you what you want for that day. Okay, we made the push up. We never made a higher high. Consolidated, and look at this. Okay, we broke structure. For me, that is enough to start taking trades. Broke structure again. Okay, so things like this you can let go. Okay, it's very minor that we broke this little structure here. The more important part here was that we broke structure impulse, like with a strong impulse to the downside. And then it's always okay to make equal lows, even if we are in a downtrend. That's fine. That is fine. That does not mean that the trend has reversed and it's going to go up. No, we're going to continue to just look for sells until this market structure is broken completely to the upside like this, and we come down, make a lower high, and keep moving up and take these highs out. Until then, we're still looking for sells. Okay, this can be actually very good. When you see something like this, I love that, because I know that there's people buying over here, and when there's people buying, that means there's essentially money sitting down here. This is stop losses. So the banks will love to make you think it's going to go back the other way, and then they will drop it and take that liquidity. This is a beautiful trade. I can even tell that we took this trade, I believe, last one of the Fridays a couple of weeks ago. If you were in the Signals chat, you would remember it was a trade that went like 100 and something pips, okay? So another thing to note down, come to your line chart, okay? Come to your line chart and try to identify from the line chart. If you can get it from the candlesticks, great. But if you need help from the line chart, come to the line chart. And what is the line chart telling us? Okay, I understand that there's a level here and we're at that level and we could potentially move up, but I don't care. I'm gonna keep looking for sells until I see a clear break to the upside, or I see the market ranging and there's no trade to be taken. Okay, so that's where I'm going to end this market direction video. Please go back and listen to it again. Please try practicing identifying market trends today when you get a chance. After every phase of this strategy, I want you guys to pause the course and actually go to the charts and practice what we have talked about. Go and see if you can find it in your favorite 4 pairs, okay, favorite 3 pairs, and see if you can apply it. All right, so I'm going to end this video here, and the next video is going to be a little bit more in depth about market structure. Okay.